And we are live, people, back in the building for another UCL show, match day 6. A lot of talking points tonight. I got a special guest in the background. I'm going to bring him in a little bit. But yeah, hey, we're back. Pros Only TV, myself, Roland. Let's go.
Tropican.
Yes, people. We are back in the building. Another UCL show. Let me bring my guest on right now, man. Like Tariq, what are you saying, my bro?
I'm good, my bro. Thank you for letting me come back on. It's the first time coming back on since you know what. But yeah, we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about Champions League. So
we're talking Champions League. We'll leave the Arsenal talk to you and all that stuff that's going on over there. You get me?
Exactly.
But before we begin anything, please make sure that you like this video, subscribe to the channel if you're new, hit that notification bell, follow the socials and all of that, share it with a friend and all of that. But yeah, man, we're talking Champions League tonight. You know, match day 6. It's been a group stage, bruv. Like, there's been some shocks. There's been some real good results, some real good teams, you know, showing us what they can really do on the European stage. But we'll start off with yesterday's games. So RB Leipzig beat Manchester City 2-1. Slobozai and Silva for RB Leipzig and Mahrez for City. City qualified top of the group. In the game, Carl Walker got sent off, which was a bit mad. Like, he lost his head and just kicked my man in the back of the leg. We already know about City, man. Like, you know, they can navigate these group stages pretty easily and whatnot. Pep's done it several times, you know, in his time at Barcelona and at Bayern Munich. But can he deliver this Champions League for City this season? What's your thoughts on that, bro?
Do you know what? It's a big season for Pep Guardiola because at the end of the day, his time at Manchester City will be judged on what he does in the Champions League, because we've seen Roberto Mancini. He's the one who gave them the Premier League, you know, Guerrero moment. And then Manuel Pellegrini, I was about to say Lorenzo. That's the one who plays for Roma, innit? Yeah. He brought them a Premier League. So even though he has done very well in the league, Pep Guardiola, he will always be judged on what he does in the Champions League for City. And I think a lot of that comes with the Bayern Munich, the fact that he didn't win a Champions League there. Mm-hmm. So he does have the tools. Who knows? Because the fact and how they performed against PSG, which is one of the favourites for this competition, they put them aside and they should have won in Parc des Princes based on their performance and the way they limited PSG to such a finite amount of chances at the Etihad with a much changed squad, with injuries being involved. I think, yeah, they are serious and they will be contenders. And that's what I think for most of the English clubs. I think this is their best chance, Man City, since last season to go and win it. What about you, Roland? What's your thoughts on them? Do you think they can?
I mean, I've kind of said it on previous shows. Yeah, like, I think the favourites for this competition are obviously City, Liverpool, Chelsea, Bayern Munich, and PSG. So yeah, they're in with a shout of winning it. Obviously, Pep has this kind of stigma behind him where he's like, people say he can't win a Champions League without Messi, and he has to really prove like he can do it without Messi. He has to prove that he can do it with this team. And yeah, you're right. Like, obviously, you know, Pellegrini was the guy that that delivered them their first, or not their first, but like multiple Premier Leagues or whatever. And Pep was brought in to help them win that Champions League, that elusive first one. They were close last season. They didn't, you know, and you know, they've been close like in recent years, you know, but you know, like at this point, he really has to do it. You know, with the investment that's been put behind him by the club, he has to go out there and win it. It's going to be difficult as well because, you know, it's a free horse race in the title for the title in this country. So to be able to fight for that and the Champions League at the same time is going to be a tough ask. It's really going to be down to form, whose squad is healthier, and you know, just basically can they just sustain us right through till May, innit? So I don't know, man. It's hard to say. They've got a chance, of course, but we'll see what happens, innit? But let me just take a step back. Let me just list the qualified teams in it, because I was supposed to do that first. So obviously the qualified teams for the last 16 are Manchester City, PSG, Liverpool, Atletico Madrid, Ajax, Sporting Lisbon, Real Madrid, Inter, Bayern Munich, Benfica, United, Lille, RB Salzburg, Chelsea, and Juventus. We're still waiting on one more because Villarreal and Atalanta was postponed tonight because there was heavy snow that called the game off. So we'll wait for that one tomorrow. But one of those teams will qualify. Moving on. So in the same group as Man City, PSG, they beat Club Brugge 4-1. Mbappe with 2, Messi with 2. Mbappe, the youngest player to hit 30 goals in the Champions League. He overtakes Messi's record. Messi alive in the Champions League, but in Ligue 1, there's nowhere to be seen. What's your thoughts on PSG in terms of this group stage, how they performed, and
it's been a bit of a mixed one for me in PSG, because they did play Club Brugge and they drew 1-1 away from home there. That was the first game. Am I correct? It was the first game for PSG. Yeah. And with PSG, you can tell it's not quite there 100% with a few of the players. Gini Wijnaldum, he's been linked with a move away on loan to Arsenal today. Sky Carve was talking about that on loan. Yeah. So there's Arsenal are interested, and that could happen. So there, and Sergio Ramos has only just made his first appearance for them. So there is still things to be found out. And we've always thought, and for me anyway, I've always thought that how are you going to build a cohesive team and get for PSG? I was watching your UCL show when you was talking about the Man City result, and you were seeing them walking. I think this Neymar injury, I don't know, it might unlock something, because I think they have to play Di Maria, and you can't play all three of them. You can't, because what Di Maria provides defensively from a tracking back aspect, that's what's needed. You can't have 3 players up top and expect to come up against the likes of Man City, Liverpool, Chelsea, or even Bayern Munich, I believe, with Bayern Munich, if they have their key players fit. So I think that might start something, and maybe they'll get rest. I don't know, because it's all egos as well with this PSG side. So there is that opportunity if Mauricio Pochettino is brave enough to take it, to decide to drop, I'd say Neymar or Messi. But you're not going to drop Messi, so it's going to have to be Neymar, because what Mbappe brings with the pace on the break, and he's their clinical finisher at the end of the day. I think you have to play Di Maria. And what's your thoughts on that, bro? Do you think they can? Do you think there is a way? Because I don't think there is personally.
I think there is, in it. Like, in terms of how they would do it, right? You would play Neymar in the 10, and then you'd play those 3 up front. So Di Maria, Mbappe, and then Messi. Like, and they'll have so Messi and Di Maria would play wide, but they would interchange and maybe drop deep, maybe support Neymar in central areas. And then behind Neymar, you'd have to play like Verratti, one of Verratti and Herrera, or one of Verratti and Gay, to be honest. Because I just can't see a way you can leave one of Messi or Neymar out. You see what I'm saying? So you have to play all of them in it. And like, obviously the injury is helping Pochettino at this moment in time for Neymar. But when he comes back, you're going to need him, because, to be honest with you, we're not even thinking about them winning League 1. Like, they need to win this Champions League. I've been saying this on all these shows. I'm like, with the amount of I'm not saying money, because money really, they're paying these guys wages, a lot of wages, fine. But the players that they brought in, with the experience that they brought in, Messi, Ramos, you've got Marquinhos, who's a stellar performer in the Champions League for PSG. You've got Wijnaldum, who's a Champions League winner. Di Maria is a Champions League winner. Like, you got Mbappe, one of the world's young great talents right now. You know, you got Neymar, who's a Champions League. All of these players are there in this side, right? They have to win this Champions League. And the thing about it is, I feel like they're like maybe 10 points, 9 points clear in Ligue 1. So, to be honest with you, heading into this winter break, they're calm. They'll come back after winter break, refreshed, ready to just take that league, I think. And they really have to focus on this Champions League. And I want to shout out Culture Cams here, because he said that how Messi and Neymar have become part-time footballers. So basically, they foot off the gas in the league. When it comes to the Champions League, they're alive. So Messi has scored how many goals in this Champions League group stage? 4 or 5? Yeah, 4. So like he's come alive in the Champions League. It looks like he's like happy to play in that competition, just because in Ligue 1, from what I've been noticing from watching him specifically, he's getting muscled off the ball. People are really targeting him, like when they step out onto that pitch. I mean, for me, I'm just eager to see what Pochettino is going to do. How is he going to navigate through these knockout stages? Because boy, it's going to be tough for them. But what do you think?
I think if there is a way, while she was talking there, I thought of 3 at the back. Maybe that's the way, because I think that suits the profile of their wing backs as well. Because I don't think Nuno Mendes is a left back, or Hakimi is definitely not a right back. He's a wing back. That's where we've seen his best performances at Dortmund and at Inter Milan. And what also that can bring you, if you play, say, the 2 centre midfielders in Verratti and Wijnaldum or Herrera or Paredes, whoever they decide for whichever game, whoever they come up against, then that could work in that way, because then you can have one of your centre-backs step out, which will probably be Marquinhos. We know Ramos is very aggressive, and then Kimpembe as well. Then they've still got the depth within like Thilo Kehrer and Adu Diallo. So there is a way, and it's just about if Pochettino is tactically savvy enough to do it. And as you said, the big thing with PSG is keeping these egos and you can't drop them. You've got to keep them in check and make sure they go for it. And just quickly on the Messi point in Ligue 1, I think that is because he doesn't have the love for PSG as he does for Barcelona. You didn't see Barcelona do that in La Liga. He always gave them their all, and for one, because it's more competitive than Ligue 1, and 2, the PSG loving. Like, he's not gonna. It's hard. It's like a subconscious thing that you do in football. You can say that you try your best and you give it your all, but then when you see a little 50-50 challenge, and you're like, I'm not gonna be chucking myself into that. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's something that you don't even think of. It's in split decision. You don't think of it. You either do it or you don't. So I feel like Messi is holding himself a little bit back, but this is where his pressure is on, because he's got to do it in a different team. And who's his competitor? Ronaldo, who did it at Real Madrid and Man United.
Yeah, I hear you. Let me get some comments before we move on.
Man.
Big up Rich in the building. Man, the popcorn emojis are flying. Big up Santi as well. Big up Jay. Big up my guy Gemwood as well. Hey, man's doing the Europa League tune, bro.
That one, yeah.
That thing, bro. Man's he's sending shots at Arsenal. Arsenal fans must be feeling sad. Arsenal crap, now the second team Barca in Europa. Man said Snake. Big up Paul as well. What you saying, my guy? Hope you're good. But yeah, let's move on to the AC Milan versus Liverpool game. I know you covered that yesterday. So Liverpool obviously come out there with the win. Goals from Tomori doing well at AC Milan, and then goals from Salah and Origi. Salah with 20 goals, 9 assists already this season, which is mad. Like, when they scored, I deeped. I was like, what? How has he done this, bro? Like, it don't even make sense. Yeah. He's the first Liverpool player to score 20 goals for 5 consecutive seasons since Ian Rush, which is mad as well to think about when you think about all the strikers that have played for that club, and he's doing it off a wide position, which is mad. Liverpool are the first English side to win all 6 of their group games in the Champions League as well, which is also very mad, because we've had some great teams in the Champions League that haven't been able to go for the 100% record. Liverpool have done it now. What did you think of the game? Because obviously you covered it, you watched it. What did you think of the game overall? And just give me your thoughts.
I'm so surprised that a heavily rotated Liverpool side was able to go to the San Siro in a must-win game for AC Milan. Their first time in a while being back in the Champions League and really competing and trying to get out the group stage, with the likes of Zlatan Ibrahimovic going back. And they deserved it. They were the better team, but that Tyler Morton, that guy's a joke, I know you're not going to want me here praising Liverpool players too much. Hey, I heard, I didn't watch the game against Porto at Anfield when Thiago scored that beauty, but listening to the Liverpool fans talking about Tyler Morton, I was like, let's see what this player's about. You know what I mean? Like, it's Porto, away to San Siro, he's a bit of pressure now, get more physical. Like, nah, bossed it. Nico Williams impressed me as well. I've been reserving judgment on Nico Williams because it just because I was always thinking, and maybe this is the same for Morton as well, when you've got a manager like Jurgen Klopp, I think he allows any players to thrive, even the likes of Nat Phillips. But then Divock Origi scoring again. Liverpool, I'm telling you, this squad depth, the narrative that's out there, they're proving it wrong. Yes, of course, if they lose Salah and Mane, which they will do for AFCON, if any team lost their two best players or two biggest goal scoring threats, that would affect anyone, no matter if you've got the greatest squad depth in the world. So yeah, man, I'm very impressed with Liverpool. Disappointed with AC Milan, and what this goes to show is AC Milan are one of the top dogs at the moment in Serie A and up there competing for the title. However, they're just not. It's just not the same level as the three English clubs. Tomori was very impressive, even though he gave away.
He made a mistake.
That was his mistake. I've been very impressed, and as Gareth Southgate needs to be watching him and watching how the guy defends. Yes, he's very young still. As I said, centre backs don't hit their prime until 28. So with AC Milan, the fact that they're in the Champions League is better and it's a step up. But they've got to be doing better here. They gave themselves the opportunity, and I'm sure we'll talk about that next game. But yeah.
Man, yeah, that next game was mad. But I was watching the Liverpool game yesterday, and they look so comfortable. Like, and the squad depth argument that people are making right now. Of course, we can't really speak of it right now. When we get into the nitty gritty of it, so obviously right now, heading into December, or we're in December, sorry, but this Christmas period, it will test their squad. We'll see what will happen. And then obviously, as we're starting to get into the thick of things and we're getting into the later rounds of all these competitions and into the league, we'll see how they'll be able to fare. AFCON coming into play as well in January. We'll see how that they'll be able to fare under that. But yeah, they look so comfortable. Tyler Morton was in slippers playing. Like, he was literally in slippers on the San Siro, just doing his thing like it's just normal to him. And I just feel like it's just testament to Klopp's coaching, because he can make a player come in from their youth, their academy, and just feel so comfortable in his surroundings. And like, maybe they don't need the squad depth. Maybe he can lean on his academy to bring players through to be able to just fit and slot straight into the starting 11 and then squad places on the bench. But let's talk about Mo Salah, man, because as I said, 20 goals, 9 assists already this season. Yeah, this is the 20th game this season, so it's like he's scoring at a rate of 1 every game, literally 1 a game. Like, what has happened to this guy, man? Because several seasons ago, we were looking at him as a flop at Chelsea, right? Goes to Serie A, rebuilds his career, but even then, like, the Fiorentina spell, it was okay. It wasn't like that great. I feel like he was a confidence builder. Goes to Roma, and it's like, okay, he does really well at Roma, of course, but Roma don't challenge in Serie A. They haven't challenged, I don't think, ever. I feel like they've only won one Serie A, and if I'm mistaken, I think 2001 was when they won it.
That's the last time.
That was the last time they won it, right? So, like, they don't challenge it. So he would have been part of that squad. It would have been, flirting with Europa League, maybe not even in Europe. Liverpool pluck him from there, and he goes straight into Klopp's team. And literally, he's just been on like an elevation since coming into to the Liverpool side. Talk to me about him, bro, because like, it's a freak of nature right now.
Yeah, for real, man. And it just shows for me that this game it's a mentality game, and that's what sport is about. We talk a lot about the players have the talent, and we know that there's been a lot of players that have come through all of our clubs. Whoever you support out there, you probably put your bag on, you would put your house on, say this guy's going to be the next best thing. Doesn't quite work out. But then when you see how Mo Salah has responded to adversity, that's where the best athletes, and let's be honest, he's the best footballer in the world right now on current form. And to be doing and putting up the numbers that he is in the Champions League, in the Premier League, it's a joke. And I'll give credit to Mo Salah there, but also goes back to what you were saying about Jurgen Klopp, the way I know actually I say this, but he didn't actually want Mo Salah. He wanted Julian Brandt at the time. It was Michael Edwards that went for Mo Salah. But that's where you have a club philosophy, and they recognise what this team needs. And Mo Salah fits into that Liverpool team like a glove. and what he provides with Bobby Firmino and Jota, whoever plays up front, or even Divock Origi. He's able to get chances and he's making the right decisions, and you're seeing him improve and taking the criticism. Because what was my criticism? What was your criticism of Salah when you first, like, even though he's been great, what was it?
Even right now, like, I don't like the way he plays football, if you know what I mean. Like, it's very like, it's kind of bully ball, kick and rush kind of thing. Like, but like, it works. It's effective, isn't it? Like, there's nothing else. Like, you can't say anything about it. Like, it's effective. I like a little bit more elegance. That's all. But that's my personal. You get me?
Yeah, I get what you mean. Like, it's not aesthetically pleasing when you see him have like dodgy touches and at odd time. Like, you wouldn't see that from, like, you know, TT.
You know, yeah. So, like, you know, the goal he scored against the goal he set up for against Wolves.
Yeah.
The touch was baggy, but because he's so quick, he literally caught it and then crossed it in for Origi. But like, you see, when I said that, Liverpool fans were getting on to me, saying like, what are you talking about? Like, he's assisted, but I'm like, bro, the touch was baggy because like he got it and then it was literally about to go out and he caught it because he's so quick. But yeah, I get what you're saying, man.
But yeah, it's that but what people were saying, he doesn't create, he's selfish. He just shoots all the time. Him and Mane having them disagreements and that. And you've seen that happen. But now he's adding that creativity. There was a couple passes he was playing in that game, and I was like, yeah, it's crazy what he's adding. So he's trying to really shut up the haters in Mo Salah. Very effective. If you're looking at efficiency, that's what it's like. I feel like that's what Ronaldo's become later on in his career. Not initial first CR7, different. Like that was elegance and that was trickery. But it's about efficiency now. Let's be honest, it is a stats-based game. In nowadays, and what you provide in terms of a team, it's not about what's so good on the eye anymore. Players on the eye get disregarded nowadays, not from the streets and the culture, you know, like
not from the culture,
but from coaches.
The young kids now, they look into stats heavily, like so, like and whereas like us growing up, we weren't that wasn't a part of what we were looking at. We were looking at how you play. It's the eye test. You get me? So. Obviously, for me, Mo Salah fails the eye test, but he's got the stats. You get me? Like, for me, like, you know, like, even like Mane, I don't like the way he plays either. I don't like the way he plays either, but he's also very effective, you know. But it is what it is, man. I hear what you're saying completely. Big up Rush in the building. Big up, man. I hope you're good. We're gonna talk about the team dropping into Europa in a bit because there's a few big ones in there that we need to talk about. But Gemma says, not gonna lie, I like Salah a lot, but I like Mane more. I prefer him. Obviously, Salah's the better player. So when does Mo overtake Thierry as the greatest foreign player?
You can't say that with an Arsenal fan here. Do you know what I mean?
I don't know, because like see yesterday, I was like, yo, I don't want Salah to continue the rise he's doing, because otherwise we're gonna have to throw him into that greatest African footballer of all time. Because,
yes, you put that in my stream, yeah.
You know, because I'm like, you've got Yaya Toure, Samuel Eto'o, George Weah, Didier Drogba. You might have to add this guy in there at some point because he's moving mad. Like, this is not a joke. This is 5 consecutive seasons. As I said, 20 goals he scored, and he's already done it. We're like a third of the way during the season. So it's not a joke, bro. Like, he's on his way to a 40-goal season this year, bro. Just because, like, it's pretty mad. So I don't know, man. I'm not gonna take him as the greatest foreign Premier League player ever. Like, Thierry has to be, because like, I don't know, man. Because like, as Paul knows, because we spoke about it, but like, I hated him when I was growing up. I hated that guy Thierry Henry.
Of course.
But like, now, as like I've grown older, I've seen like the way he was doing something mad. He was doing different stuff, bro. Like, it's just
exactly, bro.
There's not much more you can say. Big up vibes in the chat, bro. I might need to do some haram and grab the Henny and Barca Europa party. Big up. Big up vibes. The Prem hasn't. Yeah, they ain't seen me yet. I probably won't make it still, but like, you know it is. He says the greatest African player is Emmanuel Frimpong. Allow me, bro. Allow me. Let's move on to the other game in the group. So Porto took on Atletico Madrid. A 3-1 win for Atletico Madrid. crazy game. Griezmann with the first goal for Atletico. Correa, and your proper jammy. Correa and Rodrigo de Paul with Oliveira with a consolation. Yannick Carrasco was sent off for Atletico Madrid. Vendel was sent off for Porto. Porto drop into the Europa League as a result. Atletico qualify. Simeone sneaking Atletico into that knockout stages where at one point they looked like they were going out, and he snuck them right in. Bro, you need to talk to me about Atletico and how they literally snuck into this last 16. Jammy performance yesterday, bro. Talk to me, man.
Man, like this is what you look at, and this is what Simeone does. How many red cards does a man like team get because of their manager? You don't see that, but Diego Simeone, he gets a lot of plaudits, you know. But I think he's. I mean, this is probably a big shout. This is probably a bit of a hot take. I think he's getting found out a little. You know, like he's got to be a bit more expansive with the players he's got. Like when we talk about players and elegant and beautiful on the eye, João Felix, he's got players like João Felix, Suarez, Griezmann, Carrasco, Lamar, and he's having Marcus Llorente. That's more of a Simeone type of player. Someone who like does the doggy work, but he also has that bit of quality going forward. And I think he's getting found out a little, you know, in this at the top level. I know they won the league last season, so I can't go too deep into it. But I feel like this pragmatic style they're trying to involve it a little with the signings that they're making. But they got very lucky. The red card decisions in that game, Simeone bin Laden. Exactly. He's a madman. The red card decisions were crazy. I don't think they were reds.
It was mad. So the Carrasco one, yeah, man tried to take the ball off of him, yeah, and then Carrasco just gave him a little palm in the face, yeah, and then he starts rolling over, sends him off. Then literally Atletico, you know, because they're it's all this. I don't know what it's the dark arts.
Simeone, man.
It's the dark arts, yeah. So man said, all right, cool. We're man down. Make sure they get a red card as well. So they did the same little thing, yeah. Throw in, man takes the ball off him.
Yeah, he's pushing him away.
It was a little forearm. It was a little forearm, and man was rolling around. I'm just like, yo, this is crazy, yeah. And then they even it up and they get that win, and it's just like, yeah, like. I think this pragmatic style, it's not. I mean, we're being very harsh because you can't win the league. You're not La Liga champions right now, but like I can't say anything about it. All I'm saying is I don't like the way he plays football.
No,
I hate it, but it's effective in its moments. Like yesterday's game, this was a must-win game. They had to win. It was a shootout between the two sides. They got the win, and it's kind of like win at all costs. And it kind of reminds me of Jose Mourinho back in the day with his Chelsea sides when they used to do everything they could to win games. Because I seen, man, I don't know if you remember when Jose was banned from Vibes, you're moving mad. Vibes, you're moving mad in the chat, bro. But when Mourinho was hiding in bins, trying to like do like win at all cost type of mentality, yeah, like. It's kind of crazy how they won that game. And then obviously, like, some of these, like, you know, really good level players are having to play this pragmatic style. It's killing them. But I feel like they have such a close-knit team because you saw the scenes at the end of the game when Rodrigo de Paul scored that third goal for them. They were running towards the corner flag, hugging each other because as much as they may not like the football they're playing, they definitely are fighting for this manager. Like this guy is basically taking this club from a nearly team, a team that was irrelevant in La Liga, to be fair, because I feel like before he came there, like I don't know if they won a title or they were very close, but he's come in there and he's won them 2 La Liga titles, which you probably would have never thought would happen. No. Got them to a Champions League final, which is even mad as well, if people remember. So, like, to be honest with you, he could stay there, and he also used to play for the club as well. So, like, to be honest with you, like, he's a legend of their club, like hands down, solidified himself. You can't really say much there. But the way he plays football, hey, I don't know, man.
He does get the best out of the players as well, though. Let's be real. Like, look at Kieran Trippier going over there from what he was at Tottenham. Everywhere, and look, and as Genwell says there, Fax Party needs to go back to Atletico. I think he got the best out of Partey too. And look at Partey's being probably exposed a little. Now he hasn't got the same structure. He's required to do a completely different role for Arsenal and in the Premier League. And look at that. So he does get the best out of a lot of his players. So you got to give credit to him there. And Oblak, he's got one of the best goalkeepers in the world. It's an absolute joke how he's not, like how Donnarumma's above him for me, but you know, in the Ballon d'Or, but you know, that's for another day and another show. But yeah, when he wins the league, and he actually is a key performer. Don't get me wrong, Donnarumma was key for Italy, but for winning the league, it's harder than winning any international competition. But you know, but yeah, man, I don't think that they will make it past the round of 16 though. What about you?
It depends on who they draw, in it. Like if they get an easy tie, like I don't know who they could get. All I know, maybe Juve. All I know is they're gonna scumbag their way to like a quarterfinal. I feel like they will. I feel like they'll get past the last 16, depending on who they play. But yeah, we'll see what happens. Big up Ferbs in the building as well. Hope you're good. I hope you're good, my guy. Yeah, vibes, tone it down, brother, because like you're moving mad with what you're saying right now. You're not trying to get cancelled out. You get me? Yeah, let's move on. Real Madrid, 2-0 winners against Inter Milan. Cruz and Asensio with a screamer. Real top the group. Vinicius. Vinicius.
I might have to, man. I might have to.
Hey, Vinicius. For Vinicius. Hey, Vinicius. He's moving mad, yeah. Is he finally reaching his full potential, bro? Like, talk to me about him, because 12 goals this season. Played really well last night as well. But yeah, talk to me about Vinicius and Real Madrid, innit? Like, what did you think of that game?
Vinicius, man, this is why you can't rule out and you can't cut players off early, especially when they're young, with a player like Vinicius. And this is why, and everyone's found it a bit weird to see, like with Zidane, he played him a lot. Now Ancelotti's playing him a lot and really getting the best. This is where a player is maturing in his game. You know, the whole Benzema situation, you know, when that was being spoke about last season. And he was playing like that, though. Let's be real. But I know he did bits against
Trent. You lot are taking the piss here. No, bro. I'm not going to buy that, bro. I'm not buying that.
Because he was playing for himself, though. Come on. Like, with a lot of decisions he was making. But come on, man. He's scoring goals now. He's adding goals to his game. He's always looked to threat 1v1. He's always looked to go in behind. He's adding goals, and that's what they need. And if he can do that on a consistent basis, and he's a bit different, he's a bit more aesthetically pleasing on the eye in terms of how he plays. And yeah, man, he's making the right decisions, and it might be I can't go too far. I can't say yes, he's finally finding that potential, because we've seen a lot of players have one season amazing. Like you said, the one who scored that beautiful goal, that second goal. I know injuries had a lot to do with Asensio's career and his development. But when Asensio was first coming in, everyone, he was like, this guy's something else. And he hasn't hit that full potential, unfortunately. So we still got to I'll give credit to Vinicius. He has definitely increased his game to a level. And it's just making them right decisions in that final third. When you've got that speed, the tech, the talent, and you're adding goals to it, it's just if you can do that with the likes of Benzema, you've got one of the best players in the world there. Real Madrid, Cruz on balling as well. The guy, everybody forgets about Toni Kroos. Do you know what I mean? Like, I feel like he doesn't get the respect he deserves because of what Modric did. But yeah, man, I can't lie. I called Vinicius the Samper Dan James. See, the disrespect was being flying all over the place. Rolling, man. Come on.
I know, but like, to be honest with you, like he's really been balling out, man. Like, I don't know, man. I don't know what he's done. If he changed his diet, did he change his barber? I don't know, man. Like, he's been doing a madness. I feel like he has been learning a lot off of Benzema. I feel like the opportunity to train with him, like literally day in, day out, where they can, form partnerships with each other on the training field and then translate that into the actual games has also helped him. I feel like he's settled in Madrid now. I feel like there's a lot of trust from the manager. Hey, vibe, you're moving mad. He said Favela overtime. Oh my days. But yeah, I mean, I feel like he's on his way to being a really good performer across his career at Real Madrid. Yeah, but I can't wait to see more of him. But talk to me about Ancelotti, because obviously,
Yeah,
Real Madrid, you know their history in the Champions League. I think what are they
yeah,
13, 14 time winners
yeah,
or something.
exactly. Yeah,
Yeah, so
yeah.
like so, you know, they've got that pedigree in the Champions League.
Mm.
What do you think of their chances? Do you reckon that they could sneak into that? Those favorites that I named at the beginning of the show, you think they could sneak in there and potentially win themselves another Champions League, or is it maybe a bit too early? Or is their squad still in a bit of transition? Tell me what you think.
I think that they're still in that transition stage, you know, if we're
Mm,
looking at it in all fairness, because and it's mainly at the back. That's where I look at the problems for Real Madrid when they come into the latter stages, when they come up against the English teams. In the midfield, they've still got that quality in Cruz, Casemiro, Modric, and then you got still players like Fede Valverde. And in the attack, when you got Benzema in the form that they are in, that he's in, I think when you come into the Champions League, you definitely do need that strong and stable defense. However, you can't doubt them. I think if we're talking about outside the three English clubs, they're above Bayern Munich for me.
Oh,
And
really?
yeah.
Yeah.
Serious because of them. Lewandowski, Benzema. Yeah, man. I just favour Real Madrid. It's that aura. It's the Real Madrid of this
Mm,
competition as well. And I think both of them struggle defensively. We saw in the
mm,
weekend with Bayern Munich against Dortmund
yeah.
they could have definitely lost that game.
Mm,
I know Dortmund's mistakes at the back court caused them problems. They're worse defensively. But yeah, man, I don't know. Real Madrid have the ability to manage themselves through the games too.
mm.
So yeah, I've got faith in Real Madrid to probably, and as General says, semis could do if they get a favourable draw. If they don't
Yeah.
put one of the big boys before them.
Yeah. I think so. I mean, I'm not sure. It's.
You know, yeah. But why? What's your reason for not being sure?
I just feel like they're not the side that what they thought that they've been over the last few years. I feel like they've lost a lot of key players. They're probably another season. Last season they got to the semis and lost to Chelsea. I think this season they're going to find one of these teams a lot earlier and get beaten and get knocked out. Cruz, Modric, quality players, of course, but another year older. If they come against one of these kind of midfields, energetic, ready to basically kick you off the ball and not give you any time and space, they will struggle, in my opinion. Of course, you can't discount the Benzema factor. He's always going to be a key player in those games in the knockout stages. But I just think it's too much of transition right now. There's a lot of young players in there. There's a bit of a mismatched squad. They're still waiting on trying to make those transfers, like General says up here. Mbappe potentially moving over there. There's a potential that Paul Pogba could move over there. Raheem Sterling, Antonio Rudiger. There's a lot of players that could potentially go over there in the summer. So their team is not yet complete. So we'll have to wait and see on that. But yeah, man, I'm interested to see what will happen with them in terms of the rest of this competition. Let's move on to tonight's game. So Chelsea, a 3-3 draw with Zenit St. Petersburg. Goals from Claudinho, Azmoun, and Ozdoev, I believe his name is.
Yeah, I don't know who that one is, but it was a good goal.
It was a good goal. And then Werner with 2 and Lukaku back on the score sheet as well. Chelsea dropped to second place in the group. Obviously with that defeat, that draw. Potentially it means a harder tie for them in the next round. Could the holders go out, bro? Because they're on a current poor run of form. Can it be considered a blip? Are these more structural problems within Tuchel's setup right now? What do you think, bro?
Yeah, they definitely could go out, bro. What about if Real Madrid bought Chelsea? What are you saying then?
It's a bit of revenge, isn't it? Like a bit of revenge from last season. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And with the current injuries that they have, I think that's what the biggest issue is. So I will pull it down to a blip. It just depends on how if they can get the likes of Kovacic and Kante back, and soon and fit and firing, and make sure that they stay fit throughout the rest of the season. I think a lot that's been played. I don't think that's been played. Well, I've heard Chelsea fans play it up But yeah, in terms of the injuries to key players, like Kante, who provides that energy, they don't have anyone else that can really provide that in the midfield. What Kovacic can do last season, outstanding. I think he was better than Jorginho for Chelsea. Probably not overall because of what Jorginho did in the Euros, but it was amazing to see. It was amazing to see the fact that that Werner, he scored 2 goals and he actually assisted that final goal. Yeah, he was quality tonight, Timo Werner. It was his best game in a Chelsea shirt. So fair play to him, man. But yeah, Chelsea, I still think they'll have enough when they get those players back fit. Because when is it, in February or March? They're around the 16th.
We're back in February, isn't it? So
yeah, they'll be all right. It just depends on the African Cup of Nations. You know, with Mendy, Kepa's in goal, they concede 3. So
yeah, be interesting. But yeah, man, I'm looking at this poor run of form that they're on currently right now. Yeah, you know, it's looking a bit like, obviously people are now questioning, you know, Tuchel's decision to play the 3 at the back. There's a few problems with players in their side with contracts. Rudiger, apparently his brother's his agent went to speak to Real Madrid and is going to have a meeting with Bayern Munich at the end of this week, because obviously he's looking for a certain type of money, and Chelsea don't do that. They have their policy. Once you hit that certain age, we're not paying you any money. Christensen hasn't signed his new deal. He's also close to being a free agent. There's a potential that might not happen depending on what kind of office he gets on the table. Obviously, Lukaku, there's been a lot of talk and speculation about Lukaku and his role in the team. Obviously, he scores tonight, but you know, he's not. If the team don't set up to play to his strengths, he will struggle in this side. He'll pick up a goal here and there, you know, because he has that ability. But if he won't be able to score at a consistent rate because they're not playing to his strength, you know. So the 3 at the back is being questioned. Will they switch to a back 4? Can they do it with Thiago Silva? Are they weaker without Kante? And there's all these questions in there, right? I don't know if this Chelsea side is going to retain their crown. I think it's going to be a bit of a step too far for them, because we're seeing how already in the Premier League, a few results here and there, they've been knocked off top spot by City. Their crown could be taken from them in this last 16 if they don't get it right. And Tuchel doesn't have the time to get it right. Games are coming thick and fast, as I said to you, Christmas period, and then we're straight into January, and we're going right through to the end of the season. I'm not too sure if this Chelsea side can retain this crown. There's just too many problems surrounding the club and the certain players in their squad. They'll do well to probably hit another semis, in my opinion. But what do you think, bro?
I think it's all about the luck of the draw. That goes back to it as well, and depends on what teams they face. Chelsea, when we look at it, I know this is probably coming from a salty Arsenal fan. They got the luck of the draw for me, and timings of getting these teams as well. When they got Real Madrid, they got Real Madrid that were injury hit Real Madrid, and when they come up against Pep, overthinking Pep in one leg, yeah, it was they're bound to win it, and yeah, so it could happen, and I think it definitely could. They're still up there. They're still up there with the favourites. When you have players like Lukaku on the pitch, the pure quality like that, you've always got a chance, bro. Always. And then they can pull and they can defend well when they've got their players back. Tuchel knows how to build a defensive structure around this Chelsea team. So I think there always is a possibility. And with how the Champions League has been won previously, you can counter-attack your way to it. You can counter-attack your way to it. So that's what Chelsea are best at. And when they come up against the teams like Real Madrid, these guys are too arrogant to say, okay, we'll let you have possession and we'll try and counter-attack you, like how West Ham have found their troubles up against, how they cause troubles to Chelsea, and how other teams have. So we'll have to wait and see, man. And you know, when you've still got Pep in there, who's overthinking in the Champions League, Arteta gets that from him. You know what I mean? But so there is always an opportunity. But as yet, Rudiger's brother doing that, Raiola, yeah. But that it can also add to their value as well, even more. This is what the players are looking at. It just depends on the mentality as the players. I don't think it was the draw last season. They just had a really long-term effect of the new manager bounce. They faded at times, but then they had momentum. They came up against Atletico Madrid. They did well there, but I don't think Atletico were anything shining. I think Porto were unlucky in a way.
They were
unlucky, but then Real Madrid, once again, Kante. That's when Kante switched it on.
Yeah.
And that's when Kante turned it up. And then he carried that into the final. They do have the quality players, bro. And so I think they could. What about you? But why would you say they can't? So if you had to put it down to a definitive reason why Chelsea can't do it?
I just think like to defend the Champions League is a very difficult feat. There's only one team that's done it, and that's Real Madrid. And that was a Real Madrid side. Like you look at that side. If I list off the names right now, you're saying I know. That's how you know. Like and so like I don't think Chelsea do it this season. I just think that there is a little bit of a mentality issue with the Chelsea squad. I feel like it's also not helping the fact that Tuchel came in and did the three at the back because he saw the defensive frailties within the side. He hasn't switched to what he usually plays, which is that 4-3-3. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens because like he can't rely on this because it's now being found out, apparently. Do you know what I'm saying? With the blips that they're currently on. So I'm waiting to see when he switches because when he switches, there's going to be some teething problems with that switching formation as well. And will that affect them even more? That's why and like as this is happening, who knows? Like, but they're up there with the favorites, of course. The English teams, Bayern Munich, PSG, in my opinion, are the five that will go for this. We'll just see who ends up where they are. Vibes. I'll come back to this. I'll come back to this again, like in terms of who I think United will get. And we're gonna cover United in a little bit. Big up Paul. He says all that talk about who's going to win the Champions League. Roland, when are you going to start giving the Europa Conference League the coverage it deserves? You know what? Yeah, Paul. You know what's so funny? Yeah, like I've already started like thinking of plans for like next season and all of that. Yeah, there will be a European show. It won't be just specifically Champions League, so we'll be covering everybody in Europe. So it's going to be interesting. But as for right now,
their credit.
Arsenal, if they're in Europe,
yeah, true.
When we're talking about them, Spurs are currently in Europe. Conte's taking them to. Who did they play last week? I don't even know who they play. What's NSG?
Lucas Moura.
Lucas Moura, whatever their name was. But yeah, so
they might be out, bro. They might be out.
They might be. I don't know what's going on over there at Spurs, but hey,
got eight players aren't playing tomorrow. 8 because of you know what.
Yeah, that's a bit mad still, but yeah, Paul, we'll cover it in a bit of time. Yeah, I mean, there's a bit of time that we're gonna plan all of that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, General says for them to do it, they need to get the best out of Lukaku, which is true. Arsenal is playing the North American Champions League under the Cronkies to play Champions League. And Vibe says it depends on whether they have into Lukaku or Mark Henry during the games. Said Mark Henry. The Conference League is like them 3 olives from Nando's.
I've never had them,
Oh yeah, no, 3 ones. No, I'm cool. But yeah, let's move on to the other game in the group. Juve beat Malmo 1-0. Moise Kean with the goal back in Italy. Feeling comfortable at home, so he scores his goal. They finished top of the group, which we didn't think would happen with Chelsea. Obviously, after getting slapped in the last game 4-0 by Chelsea, we thought Chelsea were going to steamroll, win this group, and it'll be done. But it hasn't worked out that way. Moise Kean is the 4th youngest scorer for Juve in the Champions League, behind Del Piero, Kulusevski, and Paul Pogba. Yeah, man, I don't look at Juve as anything as a threat in this competition, but there's something in me that's saying the only reason why they brought back Allegri was to try and go for this Champions League crown.
Yep.
The reason why is because in 2015, they got to a Champions League final, lost to, a great Barcelona side. Could Allegri somehow shithouse his way to a Champions League, bro? Because look, we've got the two. Look, my guy Vibes is right on the money. Yeah, he's right on the money. Bonucci and what's my man's name? Chiellini at the back. European champions, yeah, like they got the solidity at the back. Can he somehow bring a Champions League trophy to Turin? Do you think he could do it, or maybe not? Am I moving mad?
I think Roland, bro, you're moving mad. I'll say that right now. Yeah, hands up, 100%, all into it. You're moving mad. Chiellini has been awful this season in Serie A. This is why they are lurking in 5th place. Even though we have seen it that Chiellini and the Bonucci combination can do it in one-off games. But when you've got Alvaro Morata as your striker, no chance. No chance. Not when them clutch moments where you need to be playing ball. Chelsea were rolling up. This is when Chelsea started to go on that little bit. Well, I know they lost Chilwell in that game and that started to kick it off. But 4-0 and Chelsea could have done it by more. I'm sorry. Nah, like Bayern Munich, book these guys. See you later. Got a game over. Nah, no way. I just don't see it. And I think another big factor is their midfield isn't good enough either. And when we're talking this, when I know I'm relating it back to Arsenal, it's a Champions League show. But when you can't control a game, when you don't have the midfield that is good enough to control a game to a certain point, whether it's defensively or in possession, you're always susceptible to losing against a team that has more quality. And there is quite a few teams that have more quality in the attack than Juventus at this moment in time, and the defense hasn't been solid. You got Szczesny's in goal. He's made some horrific errors this season. He always has that in him. For me, no chance. Not with this current crop. And Allegri might be gone before they even get to that next stage, bro. Yeah. That might be the case. What dangers? What players are you looking at that could carry them though?
I mean, look, I love Chiesa. Like, he's a baller. Like, the thing about it, the reason why I just said it is because, like, I didn't see any reason why Allegri would come back to Juve. The state that they're in as a club, yeah, like, obviously the Ronaldo experiment, why he went there, what was the reason behind it, the money they paid for him. The guy top scored for them, I think he scored like 90 goals or something crazy like that whilst he was there in the 3 years he was there. But bringing him back, I just had a cheeky feeling. I was like, maybe it's for a Champions League run, because in the league they're not gonna do anything this season. So can he navigate them through these next, like, what is it? How many games would it be? 6 games? You know what I mean? Like, can he navigate this team through 6 games in the competition? I don't know. He could. You know, stranger things have happened in football. We've seen teams win competitions, win leagues that shouldn't have any right of winning them. You never know.
Chelsea won this competition, finished 6th. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. You just never know. Like, so I have a sneaky feeling that they brought him back to win this Champions League. Juve have been coveting this Champions League for a very long time. Potentially, if the squad togetherness is there and they decide we're going for this competition, maybe, who knows? I don't know. I'm throwing it out there. You know what I mean?
You're a dreamer, man. You're thinking of Man United as well, aren't you? That's probably you're lining yourself up for that.
And we're heading over there right now. So United they drew 1-1 with Young Boys tonight. Greenwood with a great finish. And then Reader with the equalizer. United obviously were top of the group. They made 11 changes, made 3 debuts, like full debuts anyway. Tom Heaton came on like randomly during the second half to make his debut for United, because he actually never played for the first team, 35 years old. Zidane, Iqbal, and Charlie Savage, which is Robbie Savage's son, made his debut as well for the first team. Got a few minutes at the end. I mean, just talking about the game, we had a few chances. Like, you know, Ahmad had a couple of chances. Lingard had a few chances himself. But the performance was to be expected with the results, with the changes, sorry. And I feel like the first 30 minutes of the game, you saw that energy, that pressing from the front, winning the ball high up the pitch. We were keeping the ball well throughout pretty much most of the game. But then I feel like with the second team and the lack of cohesion, I feel like a lot of these players also haven't played a lot of football this season. Everything kind of dipped off towards the end of the first half. And then they got their equalizer, a mistake by Donny, and Wan-Bissaka got a little mix up, a little short pass. They nip in there, and then it's a nice goal from Reader. Actually, he curled it into the net from like about 20 yards. Round Henderson. I mean, I feel like it was just an opportunity, which most of us expected, that it was an opportunity for Ralf Rangnick to have a look at some of the other players in the squad, see what they have to offer. And yeah, man, just try and maybe implement his methods a little bit more. There was rumors that he stayed behind after training. A few of the players headed off towards the stadium, and he was with some of the young players and just trying to implement a few more details because some of them would be involved later on in the day. But yeah, man, I can't complain, man. At the end of the day, we won the group anyway. Like, we're top of the group. I didn't think we were gonna actually qualify with Ollie still in charge, so we sacked him at the right moment in time. Qualified as well. Because what more can you say, man? As a United supporter, things are loading right now. But
I got a question for you. So, out of the players that you saw play today, who would you say, if there is any, or if there's more than one, who would you say has more chance of their performance to get more minutes than expected?
I mean, Greenwood played in the second team, but he's definitely a first teamer. I just feel like he just come back from COVID, so that he's fine. I liked what Ahmed was doing today. He was supposed to go out on loan to Feyenoord. Injury collapsed the deal, so he's been on the road to recovery. He should get some more minutes, hopefully, because his performance was pretty good tonight.
Alanga, Mengi,
Alanga was good. Mengi as well, when he came on, was pretty good. Like, he put in a last ditch block. Positioning was good, but some of the players that I don't think will make it. Wan-Bissaka, at moments during the game, like, I could hear groans from the crowd. Literally every time he touched the ball, there was groans from the crowd. Yeah, and I was just like, the fact of the matter is, he's just not good enough, in my opinion. I just can't see him being good enough under this new regime, which is crazy for me to say it because it costs so much money. But I don't think he's good enough. I think Lingard should have left in the summer. Like, he also just was a bit off the pace, like, for me. But yeah, it's interesting. It's a pretty interesting situation at United right now.
Champions League.
First team, if everybody's fit, firing, maybe. You've got Ronaldo in there, clutch. You know what he can do on a Champions League night. It's pretty much his tournament. If you want to argue with me about it. My man's already scored 6 goals in this competition right now. But yeah, maybe there's a potential. I mean, I'll put us in the same boat as Juve. How can we navigate 6 games in the competition to get us to the final and potentially win it? Maybe, but I don't know. I mean, we have to do very well, and we have to beat one of those 5 favorites that I mentioned before. But yeah. I mean, what did you think of the game? If you saw any highlights or?
Yeah, I did. I flicked it over a couple of times after doing the Barca Bayern one. But yeah, man, it was just nice to see some like fresh faces for United, like Mengi at the back. I saw that last ditch tackle that he made, and then I had a United fan come in my chat and say, "Oh, he's already better than Maguire." But that's just the way it is at the moment, and people cussing like AWB, saying Dallow's proving how trash AWB is. Yeah, man, it's with Ralph. He's putting something there, and he's getting that philosophy. And I think under Ollie, you lose that game, and probably by a few more, because I know you didn't look defensively solid, but the fact that your players know where to stand a little bit. It's simple. Like, it sounds so simple, but it's true. Your players know what areas of the pitch they need to be in, and what areas they press. Like, like different coaches do this in different ways. They might use like quadrants or anything like that. If this is in your area, you press and you go hard. So yeah, man, it's just nice. It's nice seeing that, because at the end of the day, I know I'm an Arsenal fan, and Manchester United, that's the team I dislike the most. I want to see the best players performing in the Champions League and hopefully be given the best opportunity to compete. And that could happen, bro. Like, I said this at the start of the season. I said I think you're gonna win Champions League. Do you know why? Because I said Ali's getting sacked before you make it in, before, like, it's in the knockout stages. And we've seen, I don't know, I thought you was gonna make the right decision this time. And I think that your players will they have that. They've done the second bounce before against PSG. And them things, and you could have the luck of the draw. And if you face one of the big boys in a final, mainly Man City, you probably got a better chance against Man City in a one-off game than you do against Chelsea and Liverpool. So I don't know, man. Maybe.
Big up first. So the comment says that he says that Mendy is 100% better than Maguire. Ralph's got us on the right track. It's only more to come from strength to strength. Ralph Rangnick, baby, come on, my bro. He said General says you cannot rate Wan-Bissaka, but we need competition and rotation. We could get a replacement in the future, but for right now, he's our player. Trust. I think he's gone. I can't like he's very poor on the ball, and it's being highlighted. And this is what I want. I want Ralph to come in and expose people because they were having a free ride on these last 3 years on the Ollie. Now expose them and show them for what they really are, so that people can actually see. I want footballers in my side. I want people that are comfortable on the ball in all positions of the pitch. None of this stuttering and then like you're looking like you're falling over when you're trying to pass up. No, like pass the ball in an elegant way, man. Like, I'm not trying to do that. Same goes for any other Champions League is coming to Old Trafford first.
Hey, dream, but don't expect that. Like, don't expect anything like that. Yeah.
And Maguire is United's worst centre back from day. I mean, my theory on it is just he's better in a low block. We're not going to play that at Man United, so like he's going to struggle because you leave space in behind, and then there's pace. You're finished. But hey, now we're on to the big one. We have to open up a case on Barcelona, bro, because they were talking a lot of smack before this game. Yeah, Nagelsmann said, "Yeah, okay, I'll see you on Wednesday night." Bayern Munich slapped them 3-0. Muller, Sane, Musiala with the goals. Bayern with 100% record in the Champions League group stages, topped the group as well, obviously. Barcelona dropped into the Europa League tonight. The biggest fall from grace for one of the European heavyweights over the last 15 years. Bro, what's going on at this club? Talk to me, fam, because this is mad. Like, I never thought I'd see it, but they're here. They're now in the mud.
And this is what ownership can do. A poor ownership, even with quality players, when you've got the likes of Frankie de Jong on there, Memphis Depay, who's not looking great at Barcelona in all honesty, but Ousmane Dembele, those types of players. But when you're signing players like Philippe Coutinho, who's coming off the bench for 100+ million, Griezmann 100+ million, Dembele 100+ million, and then you're signing players like Luke de Jong, etc. It's an absolute joke to see the disparity when you have a player like Frankie de Jong and then Luke de Jong, and then you have a player like Ousmane Dembele and then like Oscar Mingueza in behind him. It's a joke. And that drop off from Barcelona to where they are now with the whole situation with Messi in the summer, it's hard and it's painful to see, and it's a warning sign and it's a warning shot to every single top club out there. If things don't fall your way in terms of life and you've got poor ownership, boy, it's terrible. And yeah, you have to have a dream. But with Barcelona, they're living the absolute nightmare at the moment. However, having said that, if they can restore some order in a way, which I find it hard to see now, but you know, crazy things have happened. When you've got the likes of Pedri, Gavi, I thought Gavi was brilliant today. I really like the look of this guy. This is my first proper look. I've seen Nico Gonzalez before. I watched him against Benfica. They've got some La Masia is still producing players. Yeah. They still got that, and they've still got them like half decent players, but they need a whole new transition. They need to go the young route again. They need Pep Guardiola back. And hang on, do you know what? This is probably a bit fancy right now. Pep Guardiola back after City to revive their club, his club.
I mean, so look, like the next question I got for you: have Barcelona underestimated the size of this rebuild for Xavi? Because when like you've spoken about Pep may be the guy to come in and rebuild it right from the ground up, but they brought in Xavi for now.
Yeah,
I don't think he's experienced enough to handle the things happening behind the scenes at the club, because there's a power struggle going on behind the scenes at Barcelona. You know how it works. Every year they have to vote in a new president. Laporta's come back into the fold and said, all right, we got to try and do things differently. they're going to have to lean on La Masia, as you said, because that's the only way they're going to be able to do something, because they don't have the money to compete with Cities, Chelsea's, United's, even Real Madrid at this stage, right? So they can only bring through their youth players. They've even had to sell some good young talent as well, like Elish Moriba. He went to RB Leipzig in the summer for cheap. I don't know how much, like maybe like 10 million euros, something crazy like that. And I just feel like Barcelona have underestimated the size of this rebuild, and they've put somebody in who could potentially ruin his reputation with supporters, because, you know, he's a legend of that football club. Like, he's been there from the start, like literally he's been a part of all like different stages of their development right through to like, and he's back here right now. I just feel like Xavi might struggle, because like even right now he's come in, they've even regressed slightly as well. So they've dropped out of the Champions League. Then like even they're further away from the top.
Lost to Betis on the weekend.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So I don't know, like are they going to use him as a fall guy right now? Like, you know, like it's mad though, because you can't do that with legends. You get me? Like, you might as well just let him stay away and bring in one of them kind of like them South American dons to just come in and just do you like a little job and just say, all right, you just close out the season so we can actually have some time to put somebody back in. Do you know what I'm saying? But wait, I don't know, man. But what do you think? Like, do you think that they've underestimated the size of this rebuild? Because it's a lot.
I think Laporta knows the rebuild, and that Laporta they brought him back. He was there before, wasn't he, Laporta?
Yeah.
And he's coming in with all these promises. They're going to keep Messi. Failed. Messi's still going to, like, who else now? They're going to sign certain players in the summer. Failed. Yeah, the Laporta is just trying to sell them dreams, and Barcelona fans, they're falling back into that. You know, we want the old Barcelona back. We want to fall in love with Barcelona again, and that's not been the case in recent seasons, and it's to their detriment. It's their fault, not the fans, but it's the club's fault, because they're the ones who splashed out recklessly spending, giving contracts to players that are past their peak just because of sentimental value. This is where I think unless you're a team like Man City, Chelsea, there's cycles in football. And when you have a squad like PK, Busquets, who was a part of that, you know, that great 2012-13 side, PK as well, there is going to be transition. And I think they could get there, you know, because that academy in La Masia, who is still producing that phenomenal talents, it could do something. They do have that culture ingrained, and it's just about finding that and not losing that. And the further you get away from it, the longer the rebuild could be, and the longer and the more detached you become from that. So I do think there's an opportunity, and La Liga, because of financial reasons at the moment, because of the pandemic, there is still they're still touching. They're not too far in a way. It's not as a big of a financial difference between Chelsea, Man City, and maybe Newcastle now in the Premier League. They could still get there. I think Xavi, he will be the fall guy. He may just steady the ship a little, you know, and like kind of like what Oli does, what Oli did for you guys, and just took you through that rocky period, and then you bring in that experienced manager, because they still got talent. And let's be honest, bro, they're still attracting big players. They still can attract because of their name.
But the problem is that, you see, look what Ferb says here. Yeah. Xavi it would have worked for Xavi, because it's maybe early. It's too early to judge it. Yeah, but it would work a lot better if he came in when, as I said, because it's a mid-season thing. So you bring in some South American don, comes in, steadies the ship. Then there's a plan behind Xavi coming in. All right, we're going to pick X, Y, and Z from the youth. We're going to pick some young players across Europe and bring them in for like a fair value, and then say, all right, you go into this new season, fresh, young squad. We've gotten rid of a few of the old guys. Do your thing. Now he's having to navigate through a Barcelona team that is in free fall in La Liga, that's also has dropped into the Europa League. And I got a question for you on that. Do you reckon they're the instant favourites for the Europa League now after dropping in?
No. Unfortunately, no, because it's all about cohesion and cohesive teams, though, isn't it? Imagine West Ham come up against this Barcelona side. Who do you think wins?
West Ham will get slapped. Don't try it. Don't talk to me about. They will get slapped off the pitch, bro.
Roll it, bro. Come on.
Nah, bro. You're not talking to me about no Souček against Pedri and Gabby. No, it's not happening. Don't do this. Don't tell me Barcelona are getting slapped by no West Ham. No.
Have you seen Barcelona create chances, but they can't take them. They can't take them.
About that. When West Ham comes to town, bro, they're gonna slap them.
Are you sure, bro? Yo, West Ham. We need a West Ham Barcelona. We're both doing a watch along for that.
We'll do a watch along for it, man. I'm telling you, man. I'm not seeing man like Antonio and Souček and them man there, Cresswell beating Barcelona. I can't see it.
Can you see? Look at corners, though, bro. Look, imagine Zuma, Souček, Rice, Antonio off the corner.
It's not happening. Hey, if they do draw each other, the draws on Monday, I believe. Yeah, we'll see. Because if they get each other, it'd be mad. And if they do it, we'll say it right now.
West Ham, because of the Europa League, anyway. Just quickly, the Europa League, the West Ham are straight in the round of 16 now. So Barcelona are in the round of 32. Yeah.
Oh, is it changed now?
Yes. So basically, the third place team in the Champions League has to face the second place team in the Europa League.
Oh, okay, fine. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and it's the same for what's it called as well? It's the same for Conference League.
Oh, okay, fine.
For the Europa League and Conference League. Yeah.
Fair enough.
So finish third in the Europa League, you have to face the second place team in the conference.
Okay. Well, we'll see. They may meet each other, but vibes. This is a good comment here. He says, I honestly thought that Barca would wait for someone like Ten Hag. Me personally, I thought that would have been the move for Ten Hag, just because I feel like he's coming from that same school of thought. Johan Cruyff, part of the Ajax system. He goes in there and becomes, the Barcelona manager. But it didn't work out like that. They've gotten Xavi, and he's now, where he's at. So I don't know, man, what's going to happen over there.
Yo, look at the chat, bro. Look at the chat, bro.
Let me see.
The chat's going West Ham. The chat's going West Ham.
West Ham, yeah. West Ham might move to them. Hey, nah, bruv. No, you lot should just stop talking about this West Ham nonsense. I'm not having that, bruv. They're telling me Barcelona rock up to the London Stadium and don't pat them. Fam, don't do this, man. Do not do this, bro. You man are giving them way too much respect. Barca will slap West Ham every day of the week. If they play them from Sunday to Saturday, every game is like 4-0, bro. I don't care what you man are saying. Don't disrespect. Don't disrespect no Barca, fam.
Vibes, clip this now.
Clip it, bro. I don't care, because if they face each other, and me and Tariq will do a watch along, I'm saying it now. And then I'm supporting Barcelona. I'll back out the shirt. And we're doing this. We're doing this. I might even go to the London Stadium and just buy a ticket to the game, fam. Just on one. The one's there, fam. All right, but let's do a little bonus, yeah?
Yeah.
We have to speak about Ajax, bro. Because, Ajax, have gone through the group stages 100% record. That one, we can't leave that out in it. So I'm gonna say that they beat Sporting Lisbon 4-2. Let me just check who were the goal scorers. I know Haller scored another one. So it was Haller, Anthony, Neres, and Berghaus for Ajax, and on the other side it was Dos Santos and Ramos for Sporting Lisbon. Haller with 10 goals in the Champions League group stage, which is, I believe, is the most by any Ajax player in history in the group stage of the Champions League. Somebody that, was at West Ham under David Moyes. David Moyes could get a tune out of him. They paid 40 million euros or something for him and sold him for like half of that. And he's doing it on the big stage in the Champions League. Can Ajax replicate that semi-final run from a couple of years ago? What do you think? Because the way they play football, they could move to some teams in this last 16.
Do you know what? No. That's the quick answer, but I'll give you reasons behind that. Because I don't think they have the defense. You see, the way they play football, the way they will attack, whoever they come up against, I'm watching that. I'm watching that game. If they come up against the big boys, but I think the defense is pretty leaky. They've got young defenders, Yuri and Timber, who's quality. I'm not, and they do play with the 4 at the back. When they do come up against these types of players and these quality, I think they'll struggle a little bit. And you know what? They got a bit fortunate in a way that Haaland picked up that injury, and that when you're looking at Borussia Dortmund, they're shocking. But the way Ajax attack, wow, it's beautiful. I love watching them play. Anthony, what a baller. Tadic, yeah, that guy. He needs respect. Talking about Hala, what he's been doing. I think when you play such great football and you have a striker that, do you know what, Haller's techie, Haller's disrespected technically. I remember watching this guy for Frankfurt. He was carrying Luka Jovic. If it weren't for Haller, Luka Jovic ain't getting the plaudits that he's got now. Haller, he's brilliant, but he didn't suit that David Moyes style of play. What he wants from his striker, he wants him to be techie but athletic as well. And so, when you have all this around the striker, you still got players like Ryan Gravenberch, who's outstanding. He's technically wonderful. They just keep producing that. Ajax, they will never stop because they have a proper club and a proper philosophy that is big up Johan Cruyff, RIP, because he's the one who really set that going there. So, man, Ajax, they'll be amazing to watch. Hopefully, they'll come up against someone with a leaky defense and we'll see goals, bro. We'll see goals around the 16.
But they'll still move to they'll move to most of the teams in Europe, bro. Like I feel like I'd love to see them play against Man City. I want to see Ten Hag on the stage with Pep. I want to see how he's gonna react to that kind of situation, because this is where we can really judge him as a top manager. And that's the question I had for you next. Is he staking his claim as a top manager in Europe? Because the way that Ajax have navigated through this group stage, they slapped Dortmund home and away. I think on aggregate, I think it would have been 6-1 or something crazy like that on aggregate. Like, I want to see him set up against a City side or against a Chelsea or against a Liverpool, because potentially he could be the new Man United manager or the next City manager or wherever he may end up next. Do you know what I'm saying? So seeing him go toe to toe with these guys, potentially we'll see him really stake a claim, but I don't think they'll get a semi-final run. They'll get a quarterfinals. I think they can get past this last 16, depending on who they face. They'll get quarterfinals at least. But do you think that Ten Hag is actually is he staking his claim based on this this sample size that we've got of him now in the Champions League?
Do you know what? I don't think it's a sample size, bro. Definitely. Because where you see a lot of managers when they have a great squad, a generational squad, where they went to the semi-finals with, like Jardim when he was at Monaco and what he did with that Monaco side with Mbappe, Silva, Fabinho, etc. But look what happened afterwards. He wasn't able to regenerate that. Erik Ten Hag, boy, that man's regenerated it as well, and is able. This squad's young, They've still got some young players like Anthony, Timber, Lisandro Martinez. Mazraoui's still there. So and they've been doing that without a goalkeeper, without even Anana.
I know. Anana, I know he's been suspended. Yeah, forgot about that.
He is tactically, he can adapt in a way, and he can get the best out of his side. Definitely, and it's all about in the crucial stages, and he's been able to do that. He's up there. He was already flirting with that because of that one run, but now he's regenerated this squad. Nah, man, definitely. He's got the perfect mix, though. It's the perfect balance with Ajax. I think with Ajax, you struggle to not succeed with how they produce talent, and it's all about timing. But he's the perfect balance, and he'd be perfect for Man City after Pep Guardiola, because they're doing that. They're trying to set up in that Ajax model way, a sustainable club with a great academy, and play attractive football. He'll do that, man. Yeah, Erik Ten Hag, top manager up there, with one of the best in the world from what I've seen. I know it's in the Eredivisie, but in the Champions League, he's getting the best out of man like Hala, baller, as Ferb says.
Hey, that's it, man. We wrapped up. This is match day 6. Not going to be any shows till February in terms of European football. Anyway,
when's the draw, bro? When's the draw?
The draw's on Monday, actually. So I might do something like a little live just to cover the draw, because there's definitely gonna be some tasty ties in there. But yeah, man, we're gonna wrap this up right now. Obviously, I want to just say thank you to everybody that's been in the chat. Obviously, your comments, they always make the show And for Tariq, can you please let the people know where they can find you? Because you've been a great guest on the show.
I appreciate that, man. Thank you very much. If you just type in Tariq Talks on YouTube, Instagram, I've created a new Instagram page. Go follow that there. I'll get interacting with you guys a lot more because it takes it away from the personal a little bit more. So yeah, it's just mainly just talking about football and whatever you guys want to interact with me about. I'm still yet to make a poll. So check me out there, Twitter, you name it. But the YouTube channel, come subscribe, people. I'm an Arsenal fan, but I talk, as you can see, I talk a lot more about Arsenal. If I just watched Arsenal, I wouldn't be happy. And do you know what I mean? I'm just trying to live my life and try and be fun. But thank you, Roland, for letting me come on, bro. I always love talking football with you, man.
Come on, bro, man. I appreciate that as well, man. But yeah, I'm gonna slap Tariq's like all his information, the YouTube channel in the description as well, so you can find everything there. I'll be back on the weekend, NBA streams as usual.
Who you watching?
I don't know. I was thinking about watching the Hornets versus Sacramento Kings. I don't know, but we'll see. I'll pick a better game. I don't know.
I'm like, yo.
I'll pick a better game. You get me? I'm just gonna see what's happening on the schedule, and then I'll schedule something up. But yeah, man, we're about to get out of here, man. Make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel if you're new, hit that notification bell. We're going live so many times across the course of the season. Hit the socials; they're coming up next, and we are out. Peace.